Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is William Holden, and this is my review of Choi Hawk's Detective Dee. I was kind of hoping that Andy Lau, the king of product whoring, would have a snack tie-in called Dee's Nuts, but it was not to be. I was actually a little afraid to watch Detective Dee, because, frankly, Choi Hawk had disappointed me. In this candid photo of on-set improvisation, the actresses portray missing and all about women, and Choi Hawk portrays the China market's big red ass. So I was afraid to watch Detective Dee, but luckily for me, and for you, it turns out that my fears were completely unfounded. I enjoyed Detective Dee a lot. When I like Choi Hawk films, I like them because they entertain me, but more importantly, they just dazzle me. His 1980s work was often exemplary for the time period because it transcended its notable and occasionally visible limitations. Those old movies were made fast, cheap, and with little or no thought. Described that way, they sound like a lot of my ex-girlfriends. But that was their beauty, their allure, and their value. The Choi Hawk movies, not my exes. His movies were celluloid roller coaster rides, and we were all invited along. And who really gives a shit about a story for a roller coaster anyway? You're just along for the ride. On that level, Detective Dee really succeeds. It is a joy to behold. I didn't watch this movie as much as I just looked at it. And I liked what I saw. First of all, let me say, I found it especially great to see Carina on the big screen again. Even if she looked like this. In a bid to cut costs, the sequel to Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland will be filmed in China. Her hairdos were amazing. I spent a good amount of time just wondering how long she had to sit in a chair and have all that shit strapped to her head. She plays a ruthless empress-to-be who sets a new standard for cold, calculating, and downright nasty. If they ever made a Chinese version of Jaws, she could be the shark. Andy Lau is his usual self, trying very hard to act without moving his face and therefore showing his wrinkles. Figuring out the next facelift? Don't get me wrong, he is Andy Lau and he's still a million times more suave and cool than any of us will ever be. But he's also spent the last 10 years or so usually playing Andy Lau instead of playing the character. But he's still worth watching. So is Li Bingbing. She does a good job with her action scenes and manages to be convincing in her character. What more could I ask? Detective Dee isn't going to surprise anybody in a narrative sense. It's a solid genre film, but the emphasis here is on solid. I really enjoyed it, and as you're probably noticing when I enjoy a movie or even when I review it, I don't talk too much about the plot because I always prefer to watch movies without knowing that, so that's the way I present them to you. But that's what the internet's for, isn't it? I want you to watch Detective Dee because it's a fun, entertaining film. And it makes me nostalgic, not just for the way that Hong Kong movies used to be, but it also makes me guardedly optimistic that maybe they could be that way again. I am very glad that Choi Hawk managed to make a movie that was an awful lot of fun, and while admittedly working for the China market, doesn't end up being a slave to it. See this movie for yourself. You'll be glad you did. Especially because soon, there's going to be a sequel. I want you to watch this movie, but I want you to watch it because you bought it. I don't want you to steal it. In the description, there are links to where you can, of course, buy the DVD or buy a Blu-ray. Probably worth it. If you enjoy this review, please leave me a comment. Even if you didn't enjoy the review, you could still leave me a comment and say, "You're an asshole," but then I might think you were my mother. If you enjoy my reviews in general, please subscribe. That way, you'll get to see all the new ones first.